We'll have a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission for October 7th, 2020. It's 10 o'clock. All commissioners are present, and we will begin with consent and approval. Good morning, Renata.
Good morning. How are you all?
We are fine.
Okay, so we have 20 exonerations for $6,988.29. One request to create a new statement for $1,588.84. Vouchers for General County Fund, $483,640.72. Whole severance, $1,654. 911, $2,002. Chestnut Ridge Park, $11,755.61. Camp Muffley, $355.13. Mason-Dixon Park, $4,218.57. Assessor's valuation, $8,882.39. Purchasing card vouchers, General and County Fund, $14,571.20. Magistrate Court, $29.84. 911, $247.44. Home confinement, $4,943.80. Chestnut Ridge Park, $779.81. Camp Muffley, $577.35. Mason-Dixon Park, $162.42. Assessor's valuation, $217.98 for a voucher total of $534,036.28. Purchasing card vouchers, position vacancies for boards and authorities. The West Run Board of Zoning Appeals, Mon County Planning Commission, Mon County Development Authority, Camp Muffley Advisory Board, Abandoned and Dilapidated Enforcement Agency, Mason-Dixon Park Advisory Board, Region 6 Planning and Development Council, Historic Landmarks Commission, and the Mountaineer Trail Network Authority. Fiduciary orders for October 7th, 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Introduction of new employees and personnel changes.
We're still under the
Yes.
we're not making them show up. So the Day Report Center has a new employee. Let me get to my papers. Hold on.
Olivia Roman.
Yes. So Olivia Roman.
Yeah, Olivia Roman is a case aid and drug screening technician. She will be part-time, rate of pay at $11 an hour with no benefits. She has a 90-day probation period, and her starting date is today, October 7th.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
And the other person, Youth Services Center, their registered nurse that they have on staff had a medical emergency, so she's taking some time off, and so Jamie Edgell has been hired as a part-time registered nurse. She received $12,000 per year. First day is today, October 7th, and not eligible for benefits.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any other introductions of new employees? Hearing none, we will move on to comments from the public. If you wish to speak, you come forward, identify yourself, your address, and you will be given 3 minutes to speak.
Sure.
My name is Mary Hastings. I'm here to act as proxy for making a comment for my sister Jennifer Hastings. She's in school right now and could not attend this meeting. Her address is 87 Kingwood Pike. And our plea is surrounding the potential Greenbag Road improvement project, which includes a massive roundabout being dropped on top of our hemp farm. So please help save our farm and save $10 million of West Virginia's taxpayers' money by stopping the roundabout. There were over 200 comments opposing the roundabout at the last real public comment period. 200. Why is this project still being considered when over 200 people are against the roundabout option? It only took 20 opposing letters to scrap the Saberton roundabout. What's wrong with this picture? Why are the people not being heard? Is there something going on behind closed doors that we don't know about? Is there federal money tied to just roundabout options? Traffic is it's only congested on one side from around 5 o'clock for about 30 minutes. I know because I'm out there every day farming. And it's a little bit lower right now because of school, but that's true. Does this minor inconvenience warrant a $10 million 5-year project that would destroy a family's farm, our business, and our livelihood? Furthermore, the right-of-way already exists on the problem side, so why not add the turning lane we were promised in 2006? I still have the newspaper article. Does anyone want to pass it on to MMMPO for me? Here's a better idea. If you want to deal with the traffic problems at peak hours, because there's not a huge issue other than those 2 big parts of the day, why don't you employ citizens as traffic guards for school buses to give the kids priority to get out of class safely? And this would also give people jobs in our community, just like our hemp farm is trying to do. It currently employs 4 of my family members solely. And additionally, we would like to look at why must the most destructive and expensive and backwards solution be proposed? It seems extreme and egregious. Don't get me started on the truckers. They don't use the Greenbag Road because the S-turn on 119, that intersection is too steep and has caused fatalities. A truck flipped over on a lady's car there and killed her. It's not because they don't like the 5 o'clock traffic. So in closing, our farm is home to Conscious Harvest Cooperative, a nonprofit family food program. And I've heard some of you are interested in food banks. That actually gives food away. So we're very excited about the things they're doing and the other farmers on that land. But yet, we still support the roundabout. Do we really care about food justice, or are we just pushing to destroy Morgantown's only farm? We're the only farm in Morgantown city limits today. How does this make sense? Thank you very much. Jen Hastings.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone else choose to speak?
Hello, my name's Ted Hastings. I live at 87 Kingwood Pike. I'm here because the roundabout, we've been kind of pushing for the turning lanes. My sister is a property owner there, and we want to see turning lanes there, as do a lot of the community. I believe that, Dr. Ed has been trying to put in a Farm Protection Act down here, which we support. That's why we voted for Mr. Hawkins, is because he is a farmer. So I hear he has to recuse himself for things like can't vote because he's a farmer. Well, that's why we voted for you. And so, I mean, if somebody worked for the Board of Education, could they vote on Board of Education things? You see what I mean? You're our elected representative. You have to vote on farm things. That's why we put you in here. So it's very important that we get farmland protection, because that's what we're dealing with here. I know people want to keep saying there's not a farm, even at the last comment phase, where there was over 7 people that I know of personally that were on the phone that were not allowed to speak at that last public comment, which we have Delegate Danielle Walker looking into, God bless her soul. And, it's very interesting that even today, as it's our 2nd year hemp farming there, and we've been farming there for, I'm not sure how long, because I'm like the 5th generation farming there. And, it's on the state record that we get a farm tax credit for that. So is there like a fraud going on? Like, we're farming there. There's a farm there. It says in there, what do we call it? Some kind of environmental assessment that there's no farm there. And even at the last meeting, they said there's no farm there. Well, there's actually 2 farms there. There's Mockingbird Hill Farm that I don't know if they're currently selling at the farmer's market because of the COVID, but they were selling last year, I believe. They're farming there. My sister's hemp farm is there. It's really interesting that would go down like that. And it's very interesting that people are spreading the misinformation that a roundabout there would stop the trucks from going through Brockway, where I have a business on Brockway, trying to make my living down there too, trying to revitalize a pretty terrible part of town right now. And the trucks aren't going to take the roundabout. A trucker came to me, and even somebody at the MMMPO that was a member of the MMMPO came to me and said, that roundabout isn't going to get trucks off Brockway. There's an S-turn between Giant Eagle and Get Go gas station that is too steep, and it's a curve that they will never take until that whole area is graded down. If they want to spend some money, there used to be a used car dealership right there next to Get Go. Now I think they sell Amish sheds. That'd be a great place to buy and consider grading the hill there so that trucks can take the Greenbag Road instead of Brockway Avenue. That would actually maybe affect the situation. And, I just want to give you all my support, especially you, Dr. Ed, being a farmer. And we want you voting on things that have to do with farm. I don't see anybody recusing themselves over education or whatever anybody's done. That's your experience.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you. We're going to vote for you again, Dr. Ed. We love you. And I'd really like to see the county commission step up. The city council stepped up. MMMPO stepped up. And county commission hasn't really pushed yet for us, for our farm, to save our farm. But I'd really appreciate it if you all do.
Thank you.
And
is there anybody else who wishes to speak?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
My name's Patrick Kyle. I live at 87 Kingwood Pike. I'm also here to comment about the Greenbag Road roundabout. I'd like to request that we have another study done about the, what's the term that they use for their score, the flow of traffic or something like that, level of service. Thank you. I've personally spent thousands of hours in that field in the last 2 years, watching it all times, 24 hours a day we've been spending in that field. At least one of us is out there. I'm generally out there during the peak traffic times, early in the morning and in the afternoon, because that's when I can work the best. There's about 30 minutes where you might have to wait about 3 minutes, and we want to put $10 million towards getting people home 3 minutes quicker. Absolutely ridiculous. The only place that backs up is along the Greenbag Road towards 119, and now you're trying to put in 2 roundabouts, one at Mississippi Ave as well, that goes directly into 2 stoplights, which is the issue that's happening at the mile ground as well. Roundabout goes directly into the stoplight, and so it backs up. So I think this whole thing needs to be revisited, and we need new studies done to give us more accurate results of what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else choose to speak?
Hello, how are you? My name's Sean Commodore, and I've been working out there at that farm for a number of years, and I just wanted to say that we're working with the Hastings. We own a business in the city on Brockway, Tong Thai Fresh, and right now we want to utilize that land to grow food for our business, and it is also, we have some minority-run businesses there, and I just wanted to let you guys know that. And it's real important to us that we're able to grow food. It would save us a lot of money from having to buy from Cisco. And we really appreciate that land and being able to use it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we will close comments from the public. May I ask for a suspension to be able to address the reason for recusal?
Yes. So request.
Second.
Thank you. And the reason for recusal is not one of lack of support. What has happened is that originally 5 years ago, when I brought this subject to commission first time, the level that the farm had to be was 100 or more acres. In other words, a large farm. And I live on a small farm. I live on 17 acres. In our recent discussion, it was made known to me when we asked the question again that does this still apply only to large farms? The information was given to us that that's not necessarily the case now. The rules have changed. And since the rules have changed, an independent commission set up by the county is allowed to go ahead and preserve a small acreage farm that would be threatened by exploitation. Or so having only 17 acres, it would be able to be perceived that I would be doing something to profit myself. And therefore, that's the reason for my recusal. Not my support, it's just simply I cannot vote or bring up on the agenda something that would be perceived as being to my advantage. Thank you.
And just to be clarify, that is Commissioner Hawkins' stance. The commission doesn't have a formal stance on it. We haven't, he's recused himself. We haven't said okay. So that's not a commission-driven forced recusal. I just want to make that clear.
Okay, thank you. We'll continue on now. Colleen Kuhn, do we have grants?
I have the grant contract for the Governor's Highway Safety Program. We were awarded $130,000 for that you'll need to sign. And then I also have a request for reimbursement for the VOCA grant in the amount of $7,652.07.
Move to approve grant requests as presented.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Colleen, have we heard yet anything from the state?
They are reviewing our application.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's about the COVID funds that we requested.
And we have next a proclamation. This is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. Is there somebody here to read the proclamation? Thank you. If you would identify yourselves, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Riley Freeland, victim advocate at RDVIC.
And I'm Carol Sousen, former employee of RDVIC. I'm retired now.
Oh, hi, I'm Danielle Ropel. I'm an intern here.
Happy to have you.
Thank you. I will go ahead and start reading the proclamation. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity, security, and humanity due to systemic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse, including abuse to children and the elderly, and whereas domestic violence against the citizens of Monongalia County continues to affect every person in Monongalia County as a victim, a survivor, or as a family member, domestic partner, friend, co-worker, or neighbor of a victim or survivor, and whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cut across all economic, racial, gender, and societal barriers, and are supported by societal indifferences. And whereas, to prevent the future abuse of our citizens, it is critical to foster greater public awareness of the causes and effects of domestic violence, and to address this problem on every civic level. And whereas the staff of Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center, alongside volunteers, promote domestic violence prevention by offering educational services in Monongalia County throughout the year. And whereas the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center requests public support and assistance as it continues to work toward a society where all people can live in peace, free from violence and exploitation. Now therefore, in recognition of the important work done by the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center, serving Mon, Preston, and Taylor counties, as well as all other domestic violence programs, the Monongalia County Commission does hereby proclaim the month of October to be National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and urges all citizens to actively participate in the scheduled activities and programs to work towards improving victim safety and holding perpetrators of domestic abuse accountable for their actions against individual victims and society as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved and second for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Do we have any other correspondence? Commissioners?
No.
All right. Is there any unfinished business? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. First, this is consideration to award a bid for RFP number 2020-MCC-CRPO03 by recommendation from Mr. Robert Doyle, Director of Facilities. These are pursuant to the bids that were opened last week.
Yeah, they're the two bids that you opened last week for the installation of the tow rope at Chestnut Ridge Park. The low bidder was Brian Van Devender, and I talked with Jeremy Winans, who's their operations manager, and they do land reclamation. They reclaim land, and he said he has no problem with meeting the requirements that we had. And they have 3 crews, and he said they could get ready anytime that we're ready. So if we could have Amy talk to the person who's going to come from the tow rope company to be on site for our elevations of our concrete pads, we can get this moving and get it in before maybe Thanksgiving so we can open this thing for winter.
Okay.
So I'm giving you the recommendation to take Brian Van Devender Contracting for the price of $26,485.
Move to approve bid as presented to the commission.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded for acceptance. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Doyle. Next, to consider for approval an appointment to the West Run Board of Zoning Appeals.
We received an application for James D. Barnes. He is a retired individual, and he's eligible to serve in that capacity.
Excellent.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded for approval. All in favor? Aye. And we still do have, of course,
Several vacancies. Mm-hmm.
2 appointments that would be available if anybody in the public has to be living in the West Run zoning area. Next, to consider for approval requisition number 32 for the Morgantown Industrial Park Series 2017A Phase 2 Project Fund.
The requisition is for $383,636.25. Those funds will be paid to multiple vendors, Adrian Enterprises, Thrasher Group, and Stone Paving.
Move for approval of requisition 32 as presented.
Second.
Been properly moved and second for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
And lastly, to consider funding requests for New Hill Park in the amount of $1,000.
This is a grant that you all normally do during budget time. They had a change in leadership, and so they failed to submit an application. But historically, you all have given the park $1,000. They use it for grass cutting, maintenance on their machines, and gasoline.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved and second for approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any other new business? Seeing none, I will move to reports from elected officials. I don't see anybody in the room.
No.
Okay. Next, reports from county commissioners. Sean?
Mine will be pretty brief. Since our last meeting, I had the Mason-Dixon Historical Park Advisory Committee meeting last Thursday. On Friday, we had staff reports. Yesterday, I went to Governor Justice's event at our building in Milan Park. I was more curious about how our building was being used, and I'm happy to see it being used for a variety of events. Last night, Commissioner Hawkins and I had a joint meeting with the Mon County Health Department and the Board of Health. And today, we had our call with Greene County before this, and we have a full day of work session meetings. Tomorrow, I have a full day. I have a Mon County Health Department Board of Health special meeting at 9, and then I have a Red Team meeting at 10, and then a Development Authority meeting at 12, and Friday's staff reports. That's all I have.
As a matter of correction, that was Commissioner Bloom.
I'm sorry, did I say Hawkins?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Commissioner Bloom and I attended the meeting with the Mon County Health Department Board of Health. I stand corrected.
That's okay. Tom?
Okay, first, for those of you who don't know, and he didn't know I was going to do this, Ty in the back of the room, this is his last day. He is moving on to the West Virginia University Police Department, and as I said, I wish him the best. He's been really a good individual who's worked for us, and hope you stay safe. I think that's really important. So good luck and congratulations.
Indeed.
Yeah. We could use some good individuals.
We will miss you.
Yeah. For the Hastings, and I know I've been and watched a lot of your speeches and programs the last couple of years in front of City Council. I can understand your concern, and when you bring up the point of, say, 200 people were against it, where I want to just give you the other side is that the city and the residents of the county have been asking for an ulterior motive or an ulterior lane so they wouldn't have to go through the city of Morgantown. And that is why Greenbag Road has been a major priority for moving not only truck traffic, but people so they wouldn't have to go through the city. And that is one of the recommendations of MMPO and the Roads to Progress. And that is why, unfortunately, you're caught in the middle of whether it's a roundabout or, from what we were being told, if they would use the lanes, they would take more of the property. And that's why they came up with the roundabout rather than the lanes to turn off. And I think several houses would also be gone at that time in the business. It is something, though, I am not for, though, another study. I want to be very honest with you. We've had studies and studies. We have to make a decision on this one way or the other. And hopefully we can come up to some sort of a compromise, but I don't know. But I do appreciate you coming here. I'm not going to give you false information to say that I'm not for it, because I am for this approach, and I did want to be open and honest to you on that. Thank you.
That it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Last Friday, I was privileged to do a read aloud for the first grade at Cheat Lake Elementary, and outside and properly distanced. It was really wonderful to see children in school. That really warms my heart. Yesterday, the committee working on the kitchen at our new extension and 4-H center met at Milan Park, and we hope to be able to present in front of commission at a work session in 2 weeks from now. After that meeting, it was my privilege to meet the new director of WVU Extension, Dr. Jorge Atiles, and we did a tour of the building and then had a good long hour discussion, and we hope to have him come to commission to be introduced to commission. I think that you're going to see that WVU, I believe, has made an excellent hire to work with the state, and we want to be first to be able to bond that relationship. Lastly, as you can see, we have our mask on. It is National 4-H Week. So I would like to conclude this meeting with, and I'll do it, I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Thank you.
Let's adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.